is she majoring in?
I gotta say English, just like her old man.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Do they have musical in them? Do you see either of them going in the same direction as you?
I don't know. I don't think so. My youngest daughter, she stole one of my electric guitars. She stole one of my amps. She stole one of my acoustic guitars, and she tells me she's playing a little bit every day. But she's an artist. She wants to be an artist when she graduates. And my oldest daughter, I don't think so. She's told me she wants to be an actress, but there's no drive towards that. She's just like a sort of fantasy land with it. But maybe, I don't know. Did you know you wanted to be a comedian when you were 16? I mean, when did that? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Well, I wanted to be Michael J. Fox, or before that I wanted to be, Chris Makepeace or Lance Kerwin. I wanted to be whatever young guy was happening.
Yeah.
We found when we were cleaning out when my mom passed away, we found when she was moving, we found a drawing that I made in third grade where we were supposed to write what we wanted to be, and it was a microphone with a light hitting it. So apparently I did.
Wow.
Now what that means is I don't know. Did I want to be a singer? Did I want to be a stand-up? I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
But clearly I wanted to be
in
the spotlight. Or a lighting guy. What if it was that? Shit, I missed my calling. I should have been up in the rafters. So I guess so, didn't you? I mean, well, no, you wanted to be a runner or something, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, well, I thought, until I realized how much work that was going to be. I mean, that lifestyle is so hard. But when I was 20, I picked up the guitar and started playing, and so the fantasy started kicking, and then the fantasy became open mics, and I was just sticking my toe in, and then suddenly I was swimming in it, and then... But there was a time when my dad, I was 26 years old, and my dad said, you got to stop. You can't keep doing this.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what's your B plan?
Right. He was like, you got to go back to grad school. You got to get a job. You got to figure this out. Because in his, it had nothing to do with me really. It just, he couldn't see the rabbit hole. I mean, at 26, I knew who I was, and I knew, that I was going to be sitting here with you 30 years later talking music and talking shop. But with him, it was like, I think what he was really trying to say was, please don't live in my basement. That was the whole, that was the whole thing. And then he came around when I started making more money than him. And I think the first show that he saw me play down in Boston, it was a little theater, 1,000 people, and it was sold out. And he came down and saw it. And I think he was a bit stunned. He had no idea what was happening, really, because I didn't sit down and say, hey, I'm really big around Boston. Nobody else knows who I am yet, but I didn't tell him anything. I just said, come down to the show if you'd like. And he did with my mom, and they were blown away.
That's awesome. And then then he had a change of tune, did he?
He did, yeah. Yeah, they both did. And eventually, there was a main day at Fenway, and I was singing the national anthem for a Red Sox game, and they came down for that, and it was on their anniversary. And so there were a lot of special moments with my music.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What did your dad do for a living?
Well, he was a potato specialist.
Which means what?
He was a scientist that advises potato farmers on how to get a better crop of potatoes. So he was working for the Extension Service in agricultural states, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Maine, and we'd jump around with him wherever his job was. And yeah, so I ate a lot of potatoes as a kid, man. I worked in the fields. I was bringing in the crops. It wasn't like cotton, but it sucked. Yeah.
Wow. That's fat. And so he probably saw it too as a way like almost like our friend John Ross Bowie. What's the name of his book?
No Job for a Man.
No Job for a Man. He may have thought that as well about...
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked at me. I remember in the 7th grade, I had to make a decision between joining stage band or joining the basketball team. Like, where was my energy going to flow? And I said, I'm going stage band. He kind of looked like me, like I just told him I was gay or something. Like he was questioning my sexuality or something because I would choose this, music thing over basketball. Or they have cheerleaders in basketball. You know that, right?
Right. But there's also girls in stage band. So,
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Can I ask a question about potatoes?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm sure.
So I learned maybe a year ago that potatoes and tomatoes are related, and that if you let a potato grow, the fruit is really poisonous. In all your experience of dealing with potatoes, did that come up? Did anybody accidentally eat a potato fruit or anything like that?
I don't think so. No, I didn't even know those things.
Okay, fair enough.
but my father would have known.
Yeah, I bet.
We didn't talk about music, and he didn't talk to me about potatoes. He just said.
To hear the whole conversation, subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, or visit nevernotfunny.com.